Focus today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. And of course, a lot going on around the world, and in particular, what's going on in Washington, D.C. And not often do we are able to talk to somebody literally inside the Beltway and who is in the know. So we're delighted to have back with us today Jim Dornan. He's a Republican strategist. I've known Jim for quite some time, and he's kind of boots on the ground there to kind of give us an update. So, Jim, good to see you, bud. How are you?
Good to see you, Perry. Good morning. How are things?
Oh, you know, first day of summer, we're going to get rain. It's called Oregon.
we have 105 degrees coming this week.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Lot to talk about. Just overall, kind of a 30,000-foot view. What's the feel in D.C. these days about what's going on with the Middle East and the president maybe putting us involved or not?
I think the feeling, well, actually, I don't think. I know the feeling is Trump is going to probably do it, go in there and bomb Iran. I think that he's been waiting to see what the Israelis done and how successful they've been, frankly. And I think the Israelis surprised a few people because they went in and they weren't caught. They caught the Iranians by surprise. And the Iranians are on their heels right now. And Trump is trying to be good to them, if you will, by offering them an opportunity to get out. But I think they have an ego, and they do not want to be seen as being pushed out on nuclear weapons. And I don't think Trump's going to allow them to have them, period.
Is Republicans united on this, on the Hill?
It's funny you ask that because I was thinking that going into this conversation. The MAGA folks are not. They're ticked. Trump had basically said no more, forever wars. And the traditional Republicans, who we talked a little bit about last week, we got to defend ourselves. And if there's a threat, let's get rid of it. And I think Trump's in a win-win situation, to be honest with you, because he wins no matter what he does. But I think that he's going to wind up taking the Iranians out if they don't agree to some kind of negotiation and settlement on this.
Wall Street Journal says that he has made the decision to do it, but he hasn't given the green light. Do you think that's the general feel?
Yes, I think that's spot on, to be honest with you.
So
it's the right thing.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that. It's the right thing to do. I mean, as a traditional Republican, they're a threat. I mean, Iran is run by lunatics, frankly, and they need to be stopped, and they're not going to stop on their own.
Okay, so I've asked this question a little bit the last couple of days. Does the president address the citizens of the United States before he does it, after he does it, or while he is doing it?
I'd say either of the last two, while he's doing it or after he's done it. I don't think Trump, I mean, one of the great things about Trump is his ability to negotiate, right? And he doesn't show his cards before he puts them down. And I think that the fact that the Iranians were so caught off guard by the Israelis gave Trump a very good indication of how he should react or how he should act.
In the meantime, we're only a week or so away from the 4th of July, and it was hoped that the big, beautiful bill was going to be as 4th of July fireworks. Is it going to happen?
It is fireworks. This is the problem when you've got a piece of legislation that is this important and this massive. There are so many things that are in there that this congressman or that senator could like or dislike, and you're never going to make everybody happy. So you've got to try to figure out what's going to make the most people happy and do the best for the country. So I think, and react to your party's president, frankly. So I think they'll figure out a way. Johnson has shown an inane ability. I mean, he has just been good to get these things done and to bring, warring sides, if you will, together. So I think I mentioned the blue state Republicans last week, and I think they're going to make them happy with this tax thing. They're going to, fix somehow where they're going to lower the tax rate in the blue states. And I think they'll cut spending like the Ted Cruz's of the world want as well.
So at the end of the day, the motivator of this bill, or I should say one of the key motivators of this bill, is to continue the original tax cuts from the first administration. I mean, that's got to be a big part of the motivation behind this bill.
Absolutely. Trump's a lame duck, as we discussed last week, but he wants a legacy. Every president does, and that's what they usually spend their second term working on. things they want to be remembered by, and Trump will absolutely want to be remembered by permanent tax cuts. And frankly, he's got members of the Ways and Means Committee, which is the tax writing committee in Congress. He's got them behind him, and that's who he needs behind him. And again, they'll figure it out with the spending guys, because right now the spending total is high, and the Congressional Budget Office, which a lot of people will argue one way or the other, is correct with their estimations. They're saying it's going to cost a lot of money, trillions of dollars added to the debt, and those Republican spending hawks, if you will, are going to want to fix that, but they might be placated with a tax cut. So we'll see how it winds up.
In the meantime, the $9.4 billion proposal in the House seems to be going through okay. So that kind of counters that argument, doesn't it?
It does. It does. You will see people flip in a second to get things done, because ultimately the Republicans in Congress want to see the Trump presidency looked at it in a very positive manner, as does Trump, obviously. And I think that they'll fix it in such a way that these guys will go, okay, I guess I can accept that if they do this. Mm-hmm. And that's the way compromise works. I think FDR said, I'm not sure what's worse to watch, how legislation is made or sausage.
Yeah. Looking back over to Minnesota and the first-degree murder of the speaker and her husband, and of course the senator and his spouse were injured, that has raised huge concerns about being public servants at any level. Are you feeling that in D.C.?
Very much so. These guys are worried, and I get it, because this is blatant. I mean, this is done out in the open. The guy was caught within 24 hours. I mean, he didn't pull any punches whatsoever. I mean, he went to their home and he shot him, and that's a tragedy. And that puts anybody who's in elected office and not so elected office vulnerable. And there have been some political jokes about it. I mean, in my opinion, that's uncalled for. This is very serious, and it shows that the level of, level of us versus them is very, very high right now. And I think we need somebody to bring it down, and I think Trump needs to be the one to do that.
So let me ask you this, Jim, and maybe you have the answer to this. I don't. Do we know what the political motive is here?
Not yet. I mean, based on the guy's profile, I think it said he didn't think they thought right, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Trump supporter. Not that I'm blaming Trump by any stretch of the imagination, but he felt like it was okay to get rid of what he considered an obstacle. And that laundry list of senators and congressmen, federal now, not state, was very, very long and very, very distinct. And I think that, again, we need to tone it down a lot.
Right.
Mississippi.
Reports out the DNC is broke, may have to borrow money to pay the bills. Is that true?
Yes, I have no doubt it is. The DNC is actually very much funded by special interests. Not that the Republicans aren't too, but the DNC has labor. It has a lot of billionaires. Everyone says the Republicans are the rich guys. That's not the case in this case. And they're going. We talked briefly about it last week. They are going way too far out on the left, and people are turned off by them, and especially middle class or blue collar voters. They don't want to talk about transgender all the time. They want to talk about the economy. They want to talk about Iran and Israel and how we're going to protect our country. And right now they are on just a bad path right now, and they really need to get it together, because it's not looking good for them as a political party right now. I don't think they're going away, but I think they need to make some severe changes. And if you watch this leadership fight they've had with the new chairman and then this guy who was a survivor of one of the mass shootings, he's trying to get rid of all people that don't go as far off the edge as they possibly can. And that's no way to run a political party. I mean, it's a compromise even within your own party. I mean, the Republicans have managed to do that very well. Democrats have gone in the exact opposite direction. So that's why they're broke.
There doesn't seem to, they have no one on the bench. I mean, who can pull this out? I mean, you can't even believe that Newsom is going to emerge as be the guy. He'll try, in my opinion, but what has he got to offer?
Well, except for the fact that he's the governor of the largest state in the country, nothing. Again, homelessness is a huge problem out there, and California's got plenty of problems that can be picked on. But as far as the 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 next Republican, the next Democrat, I don't think anybody can come close to Trump. And I think you're going to see a very intense and odd, if you will, political fight in both parties for who's going to carry their mantle. And I don't see either one. I've seen poll numbers that basically said the MAGA people aren't going to vote if Trump's not on the ballot, and he can't be on the ballot this time. So it's going to be a very interesting kind of inner game between the two parties, and ideologically, it's going to be very interesting as well.
Yeah. We can talk about possibilities on that down the road. It's just amazing how this is shaping up. I do want to come back to the president announcing his decision within the next 2 weeks. It would seem to me he can give all the reasons why we're doing it, but how important will it be for him to give an exit plan?
I don't think he's thought that far, to be honest with you, or at least I don't think anything has indicated he's thought that far. I mean, you've got hawks in the Pentagon who are fighting for yes, 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 let's get rid of them, let's take care of them. But there's no plan. And I think this is what the MAGA folks are worried about is we do this, and then we're going to wind up with Iraq, who had, ISIS created after Saddam fell, and you've got all kinds of possibilities because they're so, all over the map, if you will, on how they want their country run, and the mullahs have a great deal of power, rather. So, your short answer is that's a great question.
Okay, so the other part of that is it looks like it's possibility here. One of the motives for waiting a little bit is when Iran attacked the hospital in Israel, and Netanyahu was right out in front of that and said, hey, we're attacking missile sites and nuclear plants. They're attacking hospitals and killing old and young people. And then the follow-up to that is there has to be regime change. Is it possible that President Trump is waiting for Israel to take out the Ayatollah and then finish the job by going in to Cordoba and finishing wiping out the nuclear plant and facility?
If that was the case, that would have already been discussed, and Israel probably would have done it by now. I think Trump is trying to weigh the ramifications of doing that. I mean, I don't think it's a good habit for this country to get into. It was something we used to do, decades ago, and it just never turns out well in the end. It's got to come from the people. And I think the Iranian people do want a democracy of sorts, and that they're sick of the mullahs,
Okay.
their society. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go too far.
How's the fundraising going at the RNC? If the DNC is out of money, is the RNC raking it in?
I think it is, and I think they're selling on the fact that we need a stronger majority, so we don't have to go through all this Mickey Mouse right now. But we'll see. Again, I think there's a lot of wait and see as to who the next Trump is, if you will.
So, any idea in the Jim mind? You set it up. I got to finish it. Is it a Vance? Is it a Rubio? What is it?
I don't think it's either one of those guys. They just don't have the personality. I don't know if there's anybody on either side. The Democrats have a great bench. I will say that. They've got a couple superstar governors. Will they be allowed to take the mantle? I don't know. And with Trump, I think that everyone's kind of waiting to see who he approves or appoints. I mean, Junior might be on that list for all we know.
Oh, Jim, I just want you to know one thing. Today is National Vanilla Milkshake Day, and if you were here, I'd buy you a big one.
Well, I appreciate that, Terry. I love a good vanilla milkshake.
Thanks, friend, for your time. We appreciate it. Look forward to more visits.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
Good to see you later. Bye-bye.